What's up everybody, Xeno the Gamer here, welcome back to another video. It has been a hot minute since I've done anything Fire Emblem Heroes related, but I am here and officially back when it comes up to Fire Emblem Heroes content, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of evaluation slash talk on the brand new characters that are coming out tomorrow, which is none other than the Fallen characters. I'm so excited about these characters. I always look forward to this every single year, because, you know, there's some really great characters, and I do like the whole entire thing of a whole Dark Persona kind of esque character. So, without further ado, let's talk about some of these characters, starting off with my thoughts just before we get into it. So, majority of these Fallen characters usually heavily rely on being by themselves. Well, these characters are a bit different, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. To further explain this, let's look at our first character that was revealed in the trailer, which is none other than Lillith. Okay, so here is Lillith. I do love the artwork and how she is heavily influenced by Anikos, because she is Anikos' servant. So, she only appeared in one instance, which is none other than the Xenologue back in Fire Emblem Heroes, or Fire Emblem Fates, Hidden Paths, which reveals a little bit of the past, or how Lillith was controlled by Anikos, and of course how Severa, Indigo, and Owain got transferred to the world from Fire Emblem Awakening to Fire Emblem Fates, and changed their names, looks, and everything. So, without further ado, Lillith is here in Fire Emblem Heroes, possessed by Anikos, and to talk about this, let's talk about her weapon. So, Silent Power, which is a reference to Vala, which is the hidden nation hidden from Nor and Hoshido that is secretly pulling the strings of all the conflicts. And you'll know this a little bit better when it comes up to playing in the Revelations path. By the way, rest in peace, Nintendo eShop. But anyway, back on it. So grants +3 speed. Unit can move to a space within two spaces of support partner. At the start of turn, if units within 3 spaces of support partner, grants null follow-up to unit and that ally for 1 turn. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants +5 every stat, and if foe's range is 2, calculates lower foe's defense or rest unless they have mythic boost, light or dark, or some sort of other skill. That cancels that out. Trianic Aura, 3 cooldown. Attack speed catch 4, which is perfect, so she gets a potential of getting +9 attack and speed. Dive Bomb, which of course, if her HP and the foe's HP are over 80%, she gets to attack twice before the enemy can counter, which can instantly one-shot him based on Lilith's BST down there. And get this, Speed Smoke 4. After combat, inflicts -7 speed on target and foes within 2 spaces of target throughout their next actions, and grants speed +3 and dodge to unit for 1 turn. So I believe after, like, the first turn, after she initiates combat, I think she gets damage reduction, which I think is about 50 to 40%. I forget how much it is, but it's still damage reduction regardless. So her BST is right down there, and of course she has 40 base speed, 43, or, oh my gosh, 39 HP, 40 attack, 43 speed, 29 defense, and 33 rest, which I think is, her offensive stats are a little bit better compared to her original ult, but her defense and rest are relatively the same. In fact, I think her defense is improved by a little bit. So, I overall think she's going to be a B tier character for sure. She does have a lot of potential when it comes up to her being a speedy offensive unit, and of course, who doesn't like null follow-up on a certain character, like for instance Legendary Corrin, or, you know, somebody that has a high amount of speed, depending on who you have. Overall though, I'd say she's definitely a B tier character. So The next character we're going to be focusing on now is none other than Fallen Ninian. Alright, so here we go. We have none other than Ninian. So, before we cover the main issue with her, let's talk about her skills. So, Enveloping Breath grants Rest +3. If Sing or Dance is used, inflict -7 attack and rest and guard on foes in cardinal directions of unit and target through their next actions. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants speed and rest +6 to unit during combat. Okay, Call to Flame grants another action to target ally and grants +6 attack and special 1 cooldown, or +1 cooldown per attack during combat for that ally for 1 turn. And also, if the target ally is a dragon, target can move 1 additional space. Interesting. That's going to be really OP when it comes up to somebody like Fallen Corrin or any sort of dragon, like or Legendary Tiki, Fallen Tiki, etc, etc. B-Dual Infantry 4, as you can see, there's a bit of an issue with this. Grants +5 HP, grant +2 of every stat, and if unit's BST is lower than 180, treats unit stats as 180 in modes like Arena. Alright, Odd Pulse Tie. I'm not a fan of Odd Pulse Tie. I think Dragon's Wrath would have been a lot better choice. But Crossbow Attack is good. So, here's the main issue with her. Her base attack, if you don't have B-Dual Infantry, you only get 43 attack. And if you don't have a weapon on her, that even goes down further, and you only get 29 attack. That's scary. But her speed and her rest are still somewhat decent. I'd say her speed is probably going to be her best stat here, because it's 40 base speed. But in Arena, she's going to definitely shine. Because she gets that +9 of every single stat as long as you don't have any sort of banes or boons. But of course, definitely a character you don't want a +10 because you don't want to lose that B-Dual Infantry skill. But you could easily run something like Dragon's Wall if you're going for +rest, or Dragon's Wrath if you're going for +speed. So that way it seems like, you know, the hits hurt a lot less. But overall though, definitely not a snoozer character. She's still going to be pretty decent, especially when it comes up to dragon characters, if you have any sort of dragon characters that need assistance. And if you don't have Legendary Azura, then go for her. She has beautiful artwork, and it's actually kind of heartbreaking to see her like this. Speaking of heartbreak and loss, let's cover our next character, which is none other than Gustav. Alright, so we have Gustav next, aka the previous king of Asker. And he did get featured in book 3 as a boss. I think overall, I think he had 58 attack. Yeah, I want to say 58 attack, 38 defense, 32 rest, and I think like 32 speed. And of course he does have 40 HP, as we can see here. So Headman's Glittner, if you guys don't know already, accelerates special trigger -1. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants -5 attack, speed, and defense on foe during combat, grants special cooldown +1 to unit, and inflicts -1 cooldown on foe per attack during combat. Does not stack, of course. And also, if foe can counter or foe initiates combat, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack, granted that they don't have any sort of no follow-up on them. That's crazy. It gets better than that, though. Bonfire, attack and defense catch 4, so he gets an additional +9 attack and defense if there's a penalty and the foe's HP is at 100%. 80 near trace, enables Kanto, and inflicts -3 attack and defense on foe. So there's going to be a -8 penalty on their attack and defense. But it gets crazier than that. Attack Smoke 4. After combat, inflicts -7 attack on foe target and foes within 2 spaces of target throughout their next actions. Grants defense rest +6 to unit for 1 turn, and unit gains foe cannot make a follow-up attack for 1 turn. Of course, as long as there's no C, of course they don't have no follow-up on that. That's nuts. They definitely did a really good job of trying to keep Gustav up with the times. And I'd say he's overall definitely going to be a B tier character. If you don't have Otor, I would say definitely go for him, because he is always going to be available. He's going to be in the summoning pool at all times. And he is a very interesting and fun character. He's going to be a fun and interesting character. So, that leaves us last with none other than Fallen Rhea, and probably the star of this whole entire banner. Alright, so here we have Fallen Rhea. Oh, doesn't she look beautiful? And scary. Let's read her skills for a brief moment. Ruinous Frost. Accelerate special trigger -1. If foe initiates combat or foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants +6 attack to unit and inflicts -6 attack on foe. On foe, and unit's first attack deals damage of 40% of foe's rest during combat, and also both unit and foe cannot make a guaranteed follow-up attack, or unit and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. Built-in Wary Fighter 4. Glimmer, boosts damage by 50%. Bracing Stance 3, grants defense rest +6, and inflicts minus cooldown 1 on foe per attack. True Dragon Wall. Oh boy. True Dragon Wall, because Dragon Wall wasn't crazy enough as is. If unit's rest is greater than foe's rest, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area of effect specials, excluding Roker, of course Roker Sages, by percentage of difference between stats times 6, max of 60%, for the unit's first combat in player and enemy phase. But after that, it's still 40%. And get this, if there is another dragon or beast ally on your team, she heals 7 HP after combat and the start of every single turn. That's better than Mythic Boost. Well, a little bit better than Mythic Boost, considering that it neutralizes the effect of foes, neutralizes, of course, using low foes' defense and rest. DR near save as well. An additional +4 defense and rest as long as the foe uses a sword, lance, axe, dragon, sword, or beast damage, and the foe initiates combat against one of your other characters. So overall, she sounds like a less cancerous Fallen Edelgard, which is crazy. And I'm sure her BST is going to be pretty interesting, granted that I think she has 46 HP base. That's nuts. Kind of hoping that they have similar stats compared to Fallen Edelgard, but only time will tell. We'll figure that out tomorrow. And I'm definitely gonna have to say she's going to be definitely an A tier character, and definitely worth your orders. Anyway, let's cap things off right here. Alrighty, folks. So that was the new characters that are going to be released tomorrow, and let's just say they're all unique in their own ways. Sure, Ninian doesn't really have very great BST, but she's still going to be a very great support character for dragons. Lillith and Gustav, I would say definitely both are going to be very, very good characters. Lillith in offensive, and definitely Gustav in defense. And Lillith. Or not Lillith. Rhea. Boy, Rhea. Jeez. There's so many dragons on this banner. There's so many of them. But Rhea is going to be the heaviest hitter on this banner. 60% damage reduction at the start of the first turn is absolutely nuts. Or the start of the first combat, I should say. And 40% after that, and heal 70% as long as they're as long as on their team they have a foe or a unit that has, of course, beast or dragon class on them, which is nuts. I'm really excited. I'm very excited about tomorrow. There's definitely going to be another video that I'm going to be posting tomorrow regarding, like, I'm going to summon a little bit for the fallen characters, but I'm going to do a big official one, I would say, shortly after my birthday. So, without further ado, let's cap things off. Alright. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Xeno Talks. Make sure to hit that bell, like, subscribe, and of course, I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be doing some Twitch streams here within the next couple days, which I'm super excited about. I really hope that everything goes smoothly. Of course, if not, I'll definitely make some improvements, because of course, YouTube and Twitch is still a learning process for me. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time, and hopefully you'll see me at least get one of the characters from the Fallen Banner. You have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!